Meanwhile, rescuers are continuing their search for survivors across the city. More than 200 people have been confirmed dead.
Dozens of buildings in the capital were reduced to piles of rubble and debris when the 7.1 magnitude earthquake hit Tuesday afternoon. This is the second major earthquake to rock the region this month. Adrienne covers stories out of Mexico for CBS News Radio. And Adrienne, I talked to you earlier this morning. You were there when this earthquake hit. You were in your home. What did it feel like?
In a word, it was terrifying. The ground began to move, and as the shaking became harder, I knew that I had to just get out of the house. When I ran out, I later saw my neighbors, and people were hugging each other. There were things clanging around in the house during this quake. So indeed, this was the most frightening earthquake that I've been in, and I've been in a lot of them.
And that was going to be my question, Adrienne. You know, having lived there in Mexico for as long as you have, going through something like this, compare that to some of the others that you've been in.
Right. Well, Vlad, we had one just 10 days ago. It was bigger, but we were quite a bit further away from the epicenter. And that's something I knew right away from the severity and the length that this shaking lasted. I knew we were closer to the epicenter. So it really felt much worse. In fact, I kind of thought it was the big one. And I say that not lightly. I'm from California. I've been in earthquakes since 1969.
So this is the second major earthquake that hit this region in 2 weeks. What are people saying about that? Is there a concern about aftershocks moving forward? How scared are people?
Well, people are, very scared, and last night there were a lot of people sleeping on the streets in Mexico City. Even some of the shelters are outdoors in parks rather than indoors in buildings. They've just simply put mattresses on the ground. They're giving people food and water, because first of all, buildings like this one here behind us, which is totally collapsed, that's one problem, but many, many other structures in Mexico City are severely damaged. We don't know the full extent yet, so people really don't want to go back inside their cracked buildings if they don't have to.
All right, Adrienne Bard, we're so happy that you're okay. Thank you so much for talking with us. We'll check in with you a little bit later.
Okay, Vlad, thanks.